Beautiful. All right. Good afternoon or evening, wherever you are in the world, everyone. My name is Deb Roach. I am the treasurer of the Australian Pole Sports Federation, and I am here today to share with you some information about the competitions that are contained within the Australian Pole and Aerial Championships, which this year will be held on the 13th and 14th of July at the Penrith Valley Regional Sports Centre. So it's our second year at the venue. Um, the first thing I'm going to cover off is artistic disciplines. That was my dog barking. I'm going to pause the video. Here we go. So the first thing I'm going to cover off are the artistic championships. So within the pole and aerial championships, we have artistic pole and artistic aerial hoop. And they're quite similar, but the best place to find the most information about these two is going to be on the following website. Now, unfortunately, I can't mute my dog if I'm talking, and you can hear him chewing on a toy in the background, and I apologize for that. All right, I'm going to share some screen. Can everyone just confirm you can see our Australian poll, ozpolesports.org website?
Yep.
Terrific. The way I found this page is by navigating across the top bar and pressing the button on compete. You'll see that we've got some key dates. Well, at the top, it says that we are only 145 days away from competition. And then you see where it is, when entries close. So your registration paperwork is due no later than the 13th of June, regardless of what area you're competing in. I think that's with the exception of Ultra Pole. You can do that up to 2 hours beforehand from what I'm about to show you. Ultra Pole's a whole different kettle of fish, but if you have to submit paperwork, it's due on or before the 13th of June. The head judge is able to, for a fee, check your paperwork for you and give you the opportunity to correct any errors that might be contained therein so that you don't incur deductions for any errors in your paperwork. So, if you'd like the head judge to check your forms, those requests are due in by May 31st. There will be a link to a website, a form that you can fill in and pay your fee to have your forms checked that will be updated on this page once that link is available. They haven't released it yet. So no, not yet available to have the forms checked by the head judge. And then this takes us through all of our competitions. Now I'm starting down here in the artistic divisions. We've got artistic pole and artistic hoop. And you can click here to register, but also your rules and forms are all available via these links on our website. So what are the rules for artistic pole? Well, they're not that different to any of the other pole competitions that you've previously competed in. Unfortunately, none of our competitions permit performance in heels. You can apply in artistic disciplines to wear sneakers or shoes if it is part of your story. And that goes in your theme sheet and costume requests that you submit at least by the 13th of June, hopefully sooner. So let's have a little look at the rule book for artistic. So I'm going to stop sharing this screen and share a different screen. Give me one moment. Yeah. Okay. Oh, we've got Lara. Great, let her in. Share screen, artistic pole scoring. Here we go. So this is how the scoring of the artistic pole competition within the championships works. And it's pretty easy to follow. These are the different things that you are scored on: choreography, execution, presentation, overall performance. You get deductions for slips or falls, whether you have a costume malfunction. Now, a gluteal fold being exposed during an IPSF competition, which our pole and aerial championships is one of, does incur a deduction. So you have to make sure your competition outfit will cover that butt crease properly. We also aren't allowed to have any exposure of the chest or cleavage area, no nude fabrics, no mesh. And also all straps need to be wider than 1 centimeter. So think about that in your costume planning. There's even the scorecard is even in here, so you get an example of the score sheet. We've also got a sample score sheet on the website. You need to submit your theme and technical sheets for your artistic. They're all available on the website. And then we've got the rules and the regulations, which is really what you're interested in. What is your eligibility? What is your division, your categories, your age, and what level do you want? How long does your performance need to be? Let's cover these off nice and quickly. So, best way to navigate, I'm going to use go to page. And I'm going to start with the easy bit and work backwards. So on page 17, I believe, no, it's page 21, my apologies. Okay, performance time. Where did it go? It's supposed to be here on 21. Do you ever feel like things don't quite add up the way they're supposed to? All right, here we go. Performance time can be no shorter than 3 minutes and 30 seconds and no longer than 4 minutes. And that is consistent throughout the artistic competitions, both pole and aerial. Music will be faded out if you go for longer than 4 minutes. So if it's longer than 4 minutes, we bring it down. That's really important to be aware of. So another thing that you might want to consider is that this is slightly longer than a lot of competitions out there, so you might be able to reuse another competition, another routine that you use for a different competition or that you've prepared for a showcase, but you might need your music to be extended somewhat. How do you know what the right level is for you? Based on age is a good place to start. So we allow in artistic juniors from age 14. Even the groups can be above age 14. And this is in pole. I think it's slightly different for aerial, but you know where to find the information, so that's fine. We just give you all the different seniors categories. We've got doubles from 18 plus. It's mixed in artistic. There are your categories. If you are competing as an amateur, it means that you've never taught. Not even one class, not even for 5 minutes, and you've never been paid to perform. Oh, hang on. Yes, you can't apply if you've been an instructor or teacher in the sport, or if you've placed in top 3 or have had financial compensation. Semi-pro, you might be a teacher. You might be inter and advanced. You haven't competed in the professional division of any past IPSF competitions. You have placed twice in the top 3 of semi-professional. You have not placed in the top 3. You can have had financial compensation for your pole performance or promotional. So if you are on your way to being a professional or elite performer, but you don't feel like you are in advanced or pro yet, you're on your way there, you might self-seed as semi-professional. You might be new to the competition scene and feel quite amateur as a competitor, but because you've been paid to teach or perform, you choose semi-professional as the correct starting place for you. And then those people who are interested in going to the World Championships and representing Australia in artistic pole can choose to compete as professionals. So this is our highest level of elite artistic performer in the Australian Pole and Aerial Championships, which gives you the pathway of representing us at the World Pole and Aerial Championships, which in this year is in Sweden. All right. So I will pause here and stop sharing this screen and say that is our artistic disciplines. Those are your different ages and categories. That is the length of your song. You can apply to wear shoes. You can use props. Are there any questions about artistic disciplines so far? Yes.
Can I just ask, you hearing me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you just ask, just at the page you were on then, I've never actually looked at that page before, under semi-professional, the opening sentence said something about performing in the professional division. Is that a misprint? Because it looks as though it should have said semi-professional from the way it was phrased.
Yes, it is.
Ah, right, good.
I just double checked that. Point
Uh,
1.2, that 1.2 heading says professional instead of semi-professional. Well,
oh, cool. That's okay. It makes more sense then. Thanks.
yeah, no dramas at all. So those are our artistic codes, and all the forms and paperwork for that are available on our website. It's not a whole world away from other competitions. Our artistic competition is about storytelling, performance quality, choreography, and execution of your tricks in a unique way, that is of, you know, it means something to you. Doesn't matter. It's not necessarily about the tricks themselves. It's about the way you do it to tell your story. And I have an example of an amazing artistic routine that was from our Australian Pole and Aerial Championships last year. This came fourth in the world, so they won at our nationals, and they went to represent Australia at the Worlds. And I've watched this routine about 15 times, often on repeat. It's one of my favorite routines of all time. And so without further chat, I will go through and share it with you. So it was on this page over here, I think. Why have I lost my page? Meow. Is it this one? Yeah. Okay, so we're back here. Are you seeing that upcoming competition again? Yes? No, are you seeing a different? I'm not seeing a
Just
green.
just a black screen. Yep.
Oh no. All right, let's try this again. Is this one? I got you. Oh, there is something else I need to do. Sorry. So I need to go to my advanced sharing options and share audio. Otherwise you won't get the sound. All right, so now I'm sharing my computer sound at the same time. You can't see the screen again, can you? Because I can see myself.
Can't.
Share sound. Optimize for video clip. Great. And come over here. Let's try this one more time. You can see our page here, right? You can see the championship compete page. Yes?
Yeah.
So
You can.
Ah, we got it.
Okay, now we've got it.
Right.
Throughout the winter, adults come and go from their traditional breeding colonies. Antarctica is home to 2 million kings. In this one colony alone, there are 600,000 of them.
All right, I'm going to take that away. I'm going to go back and pause it. Don't worry. Oh no, where's it gone? Because I full screened it, I'm now in the circle of hell. Hang on. I can't find it anywhere. I had to unfull screen before pausing the share. Hilarious. Okay, so that's done. I'm going to share this link with you so you can watch it in your own time. I don't want to take any more of our time than absolutely necessary in this meeting, but do go and watch this one. If anyone tells you that IPSF competitions are boring, you tell them they're wrong. And you use Amy Davidson and Jude Parrott as your example. They applied for footwear, flippers to be penguins. They have a prop, which is their ice, to show that they are penguins in the Antarctic. And they have the David Attenborough voiceover setting the scene for them. So artistic is storytelling. It can be really unique. It can be a lot of fun if you want it to be. It can be very serious, conversely, but it is what you want it to be. It's not so confined. However, it is still judged in the same international system that all judges are trained to that international level. It is ethical and equitable with a high level of integrity. So it doesn't matter who you are or where you're from, you are judged for the routine that is on that stage and only what is seen on that stage. Okay, so that is our artistic divisions. The easy stuff is now behind us. We're going to get into something a little bit more complicated. So we have our pole sports. So on our compete page, you can see that there was the pole sports, all of the stuff, all of the rules and forms, codes of points are all available there. I'm going to introduce you quite quickly to the code of points and give you a really brief run through on how this differs to the artistic competition. Here we go. Da, 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 da. Here is our pole sports code of points. Now, it is buyer beware that we have a mid-cycle update that is applicable to this code of points, and that will also be available on our website. In the code of points, in the pole sports and the aerial sports competitions, we have, so those are separate competitions within the overarching Australian Pole and Aerial Championships. Each judge has a unique and individual job of what they are judging in this competition. So we have a compulsory judge who's looking at your compulsory moves. Now, for most categories, you need to submit 11 compulsory moves, but there are some categories where you only need to submit 9. So somewhere between 9 and 11 compulsory moves, and we'll go into that breakdown in a little bit more detail shortly. One judge will judge the compulsory move. One judge, and I like to think of this as the least painful job, is judging the artistic and choreography presentation of your routine. So they're looking at your confidence in delivery. They're looking for singular and overall deductions, usually if you start or end outside the confines of your music, but also for how unique your transitions and movement are within the confines of the sport's requirements. We also have a tech deductions judge. Now, I have been Debbie Deductions as a judge, and it was extremely hard work because every time you inadvertently flex your foot, if you're not thinking about full extension, if your knee is supposed to be straight in a move, but it is bent on your way up, or you look tired, if you slip, if you fall, if you show me the wrong angle of the move, or complete any myriad number of errors during your routine, I have to take off points and I need to be looking for all of it. This is a hard job. Please never envy your tech deductions judge. And then we have technical bonus judge. So they're looking for, you have a form, you elect whether or not you want to do any technical bonuses and what those bonuses are. We've got things like acrobatic catches, regrips, drops, flips with the pole, so contact flips, things like that. And they're all detailed in this document. So we have the table of contents that tells you where you can find all your information about your technical bonuses, all your information about what you could receive deductions for, what you are looking to achieve with your artistic and choreography portion of a sports routine. And then we talk about compulsories, what your requirements, your point requirements are. This is where life gets a little bit interesting. So let's go along to page, I feel like page 18 was really interesting the other day. Minimum requirement definitions, got you. So we'll be somewhere between 12 and 18. Here we go. Okie dokie, maximum point value of a compulsory move is 1. We have flexibility elements. They're the bendy moves. We have strength elements. They're the strong moves. We've got spins on static poles marked by an ST. We've got spins on spinning poles, which are marked by an SP. We've got deadlifts, which start from the floor. No momentum, please. And aerial deadlifts that start in parallel and up the pole. If you're a doubles competitor, you need to worry about synchronicity, balance, flying elements, supported elements, and floor-based elements. But if you're doing singles, and I'll just look at singles for today, we are focused on these things here. If you'd like to represent your country, Australia, or if you're an open athlete like Glenn, who doesn't have a operating federation in their country, and you'd like to represent your country at the World Pole and Aerial Championships, you'll need to compete as an elite athlete. So if you're competing in elite senior, junior, or master divisions, you will need to choose 11 elements. And of those 11 elements, you'll need 4 flexibility elements, 4 strength elements, a spin on spinning, a spin on static, and an aerial deadlift. Okay? If you are novice or parapole and you're still elite, you only need to choose 9 elements. That's me. I'm parapole. I get an easier job. I get to do 3 flex elements, 3 strength elements, a spin on spinning, a spin on static, and a deadlift. And there are some footnotes a little bit later on about what the exceptions to those rules are and what the tolerance is on what you select. So all of the things in here that you need to do for your routine, if you're elite, it's all guided here in the start of the code of points, so you know exactly how many compulsories you need to select. We also have a maximum and a minimum point value. So if you are in elite, I'll just use elite as an example. All of the information's in here, but I'm just doing this for timeliness. Elite athletes need to choose compulsory elements with a tech value of between 0.5 and 1. So you can't choose any of the moves that are worth between 0.1 and 0.4. Your bottom range is 0.5. Okay, so elite athletes must also choose one of the aerial deadlifts with a 4th or higher point value. So the first 3 deadlifts are not allowable for elite athletes on their compulsory forms. Then it has the rules for the professionals and the amateurs. So on top of this range that you are allowed to operate within, we have a little bit more rule as well. So in the elite division, we'll just come down to the table. It's just so much faster. The permitted range of your compulsory elements we've just discussed is between 0.5 and 1 for elite seniors and all doubles and all masters. But the total range is allowable for seniors from 7.7 to 11. For masters, it's only from 6.6 to 11. Okay, so there is a different number that all of your moves, when they're totaled, so the permitted value of the total range of the breakdown of all the compulsory moves that you need to select, needs to add up to somewhere in this bracket. And that's the most important thing to know. So you keep a tally, you add it all up once you've selected your compulsories, and then you come into here. So imagine that I am I'm an elite athlete and I need to choose 4 flex elements, and they have to be between 0.5 and 1. All good. I go directly to the flexibility elements in the code of points. So flexibility elements, page 23. Go to page 23. All right, so the first couple of pages are dead to me because anything below 0.5 I'm not allowed to even look at. Oh, good. Okay, I can do an 180-degree Allegra half split. I'll select that in my code of as one of my compulsories. So I need to select 3 others that are between 0.5 and 1. Let's imagine that I can do an elbow grip split. On the pole, great, I'll select that, that's 0.6, and my superpower is the one-handed flying split, and I am so great that with one arm I can hold that leg with my teeth. So we've got 4 flex moves. You then go for 4 strength moves, and you're just keeping a tally. Hot tip for people that want to put together their compulsories: screenshots. Screenshots of the moves that you're selecting. Take a screenshot if you're like, that's one for me. I'm going to be really good at doing that. Screenshot it and then put it together in a Word document. After that, once you've got all your compulsories, you've got your flexibility elements, the strength elements that you think that you can attempt. By the way, pole sports and aerial hoop sports routines are not won or lost based on your compulsories. They are won and lost based on your level of difficulty. And we'll go into that in a little bit more detail shortly. So you just have to follow the rules of the compulsories. But what you add on top of the requirements, the minimum requirements of your routine, is really where the winning happens. So if you follow these rules, if you're a really bendy person, but you're not much for the strength stuff, you've just got to pick moves that it looks like you're attempting. You can have a solid crack at, because whether or not you get them isn't really going to decide at the end of the day whether or not you win. You just want to avoid deductions and do the best that you can to get the technical bonus, the maximum amount of technical bonuses available to you. All right, so that's compulsories. We've looked at flex elements, we've looked at strength elements, and at the bottom of this, there is even an example score sheets. A couple of things it's worth knowing are that your compulsories, so you don't need to do 4 flex and then 4 strength. You just need to choose 4 flex. You need to choose 4 strength, and you need to figure out your routine and what order you can do the compulsories in, right? What is possible in your body with your grip over the allowable time in your routine. You can put that together however you like, but you have to submit it in order on your compulsory form. And then you have to attempt it in order, the order that you submit your compulsory form. That's why we allow you to you can register, you can apply to compete, but as early as you like. Our competition season this year is opening on the 1st of March. So you can apply to compete anywhere up to the 13th of June, but register, apply, submit your interest, pay your money, put your form in as soon as the category you'd like, as soon as you want, but then put your paperwork in once you've really got a great idea of the order in which it is most possible for you to cleanly execute or attempt to execute your compulsory moves, and get that cemented in your mind, what order you can do them in. So that's a brief introduction to sports, but the code of points is really easy to follow. Use the table of contents. I think I've given you a really brief overview on how you would put your routine together, where you'd find the important information. Okay, and then obviously to apply, it's through our website. For Parapole, it's very similar. The code of points includes all the Parapole information as well. So go through the code of points just as you would for any other athlete to apply for Parapole. And the other thing that I wanted to introduce today is Ultrapole. By the way, before I move on to that, if you've never seen a pole sports routine, or you'd like to know what a winning pole sports routine looks like, I have someone in this room who has been on our committee for many years now, who is the 2022 Masters 60 Plus World Champion in pole sports. That's Christy Curl, who is in this meeting right now. And we are just going to have a very quick look at her video, and then yes, it is recording again, Dave. Sorry. We're going to have a very quick look at that video, and then I will share the link with you. But I think it is wonderful to see what these winning routines that make it all the way to Worlds and bring this title back to Australia looks like. Here we go. Technical bonus. Good. Look at me learning to stop the video before I stop the share. So that is Christy. So if you'd like to see what a winning world champions pole sport routine looks like, I'm popping that link in here for you now. Okay, so that is pole sports. I think I've just direct messaged that to Dave. My apologies. Here we go. Terrific. So that is Christy's routine. We have another world champion in Masters champion in the room. That's Glenn. He won for New Zealand in 2023 after qualifying at the Australian Pole and Aerial Championships. And then I'd like to show you a video of ultra pole. Now, we've never been lucky enough to have ultra pole at one of our Australian Pole and Aerial Championships, and I would be delighted if this is the year that changes. Ultra pole is a whole bundle of fun, and the lady who is hosting this ultra pole battle is Petra Larsens, who I've known since 2012. She knows how to have a good time. It's very high energy. It's a lot of fun, and I just want to show you what happens in ultra pole before I explain it. Where's that page gone again? Why are you doing this to me? This one? Yeah, let's go with that. No, not this one. Sorry. I have too many of the same window open. You can see my Facebook. There we go. All right, this is Ultra Pole.
Portugal's finest, Nicola Ramos! And what do you say, guys? Should we get the audience going?
All right. So, Ultra Pole, we have battle rounds of 30 seconds for 2 minutes per battling pair. Okay, and at the end of that, the judges put up just a paddle to say who wins. And if you won out of that 2-minute battle round, you go on to another battle round, and it goes and goes and goes until you have an ultimate battle champion. So what we have is pole sports for the thinking person, which is like, I want to put together my compulsories and do them perfectly. I really love pole sports because I like a mathematical challenge. I like to gamify my training. So to be able to do things to exact specifications, I was also a network engineer before I was a pole instructor. So to do things per specification is very attractive to me. I really like it. It's also not like anything else that we do in Australia. You can't have lyrics in your music. That's one big rule. So no shoes, no lyrics in your music. Strict costume guidelines apply to both artistic and sport. Then we have artistic. You can have lyrics to your music. You've got a lot more freedom of expression, and it is more open to interpretation, and more storytelling is possible because there are less requirements of your routine. You obviously get more creativity because there's less structure. That's just the way things work. So if that's more your vibe, that's how you figure out which one's for you. Do you love to meet specifications? Are you drawn to the challenge of completing a routine that fits very specific requirements? Then that means you're a pole sports type. If you want to be the most, and I also feel like if you are the most competitive kind of person, it's also really good for you. So pole sports, competitive, focused, detailed. Artistic, more freedom, more fluidity, more creativity, less rigidity, less structure, more freedom. And then we have battle pole ultra, the ultra category, badasses. You go for a short time, you're there for a good time, not there for a long time. And you don't know what song's going to play. That's out of your control. You just have to show up and show out and hope you're better than the other guy. So I would really love to see Ultra Pole at the 2024 Australian Pole and Aerial Championships. I think it'd be a really good time. I have a couple of names that I'm going to beg to come and do that for us as well. So I hope that answers the question of what are the competitions within the Australian Pole and Aerial Championships and what the key dates are, where to find all the information. The people behind the Australian Pole and Aerial Championships I will now talk about. So it's the Australian Pole Sports Federation that runs it. I'm the treasurer. Also in the room we have Christy Curl, who is on the committee and also an athlete. Dave is our vice president. He is an athlete and on our committee. We have Lee, who is our director of communications and marketing, and she's also our MC and working very hard in the comp organizing team this year. We have Rachel also working in the comp org team. It's her name on the paperwork, and she will be working with Lara this year to make sure that all of that athlete documentation is handled seamlessly, and that we've got all of that competition information filed away and ready to go. So the people behind the scenes making sure that everything is in order. Rachel and Lara on documents and Lee on music. So that's how that's all working this year. So we are the people. If you ever have any questions, please feel free to DM me, or Oz Pole Sports will go to Lee. And if you want to talk to other people about what is going on, and if you've got any questions, please never hesitate to reach out. We are here to help you have the best experience of our competition. One thing I really want you to know about our competition, which is different to many other competitions, is that it's so friendly. Even though this is a pathway for elite athletes to the worlds, we are a small and very caring community of passionate sports and artistic competitors, and you are looked after at our competitions. We make sure that you know where you need to be, all of the facilities that you have access to. There's no confusion about what the run order is or how your tech rehearsals work. You get discounts on your accommodation, all included in your athletes pack. You know where you can eat. You know all of these things are taken care of and considered in the process in the lead up to the competition. And on the day, you are among friends. There is just such terrific camaraderie in the Australian pole and aerial community. Yeah, do any of the APSF committee have anything else that they would like to add?
I'd just like to say we really love to see some new athletes this year. We, as Deb said, we're a really welcoming bunch. Every year it's grown since we started in 2019. We're keen to see it keep growing. We love that the love is spreading across Australia, and we really want to see people from all parts of this country come out to Penrith in July and be part of this great experience.
Absolutely. Another thing that I just want to say in closing is, what is the point of the Australian Pole Sports Federation beyond the competition? It is to become the nationally registered sporting organisation that is the governing body for pole and aerial sports in Australia. I have heard so many competitors from other competitions and people have gone from studio to studio and had such vastly different experiences that say they feel like it's a free-for-all and that there's a lot of inconsistencies in experiences in the pole and aerial industry. So we are working from once our competitions open, our registrations open, we will also be going for a member drive to register to be qualified as an Australian, a national recognised sporting organisation by the Australian Sports Commission. We need 1,000 members. And so we will have a supporter membership that is $10 per person to get on board and help us become a nationally registered sporting organisation. We are 7 out of the 10 steps there already in qualifying, but then going on this major member drive to get 1,000 new members on the database. There's 50,000 pole and aerials athletes, hobbyists in this country. Surely we can get 1/50th of them to become members of the federation that is going to serve to make sure that as a nationally registered sporting organisation, there's access to funding for athlete development, for talent development, for research grants into our injuries and how we need to look after the industry as a whole, and recognition and respect as an industry. The Yoga Alliance exists for the yoga industry. Australian Pilates, the APA exists for Pilates. We will exist for pole and aerial. And I hope that people find that as a welcome relief, that there will be support and guidance and not as a threat to being able to do their own thing. I just cross my fingers that message gets across. But
And can I add something as well, Deb?
yes.
I think the other important thing that the APSF offers is a youth avenue, like for youth development in pole and aerial, and it's something that we're looking to develop
Yeah,
quite heavily, and it gives those kids an opportunity to go to the World Championships.
yeah, it's so funny. There are so many countries in the International Pole Sports Federation, particularly Mexico, I know has so many kids. There's so many kids doing pole and aerial and absolutely smashing it at Worlds, and we have none. So we really need the athlete development program to come through and to really push that and bring more kids into competing and showing up and showing out, both at our nationals and all the way through to international championships.
Deb, we have plenty of big kids who compete, but it would be really nice to have some youth to show us how it's done.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so we've got plenty of energy. We just would love like that energy to be spread across the age ranges and to come in and play. Are there any questions from anyone else? Yes.
No, not a question, but a comment from somebody who hopefully can be regarded as definitely unbiased, since I'm not part of the committee and I'm not in Australia. But I'd just like to concur with everything you just said, Deb. That competition, when I went to it, my first attempt last year, is in 50 years of competitive sports, and people have heard me say this before, the best I have ever felt I've been looked after in half a century of competing in many sports at top level. That was a wonderful experience for me. I really cannot say how grateful I am to all the lovely people who made me so welcome when I turned up very nervously in Penrith, not sure what was going to happen, and was instantly made to feel at home. So if you've got people who are feeling a bit unsure, I can assure you, you will definitely get a great welcome at that event.
Yay. Thank you so much. And it was so good to have you there. We actually met Glyn at the Phuket pole retreat by a Calder pole in December 2022. And Sarah May and I immediately went like, this is the next World Masters champion. We have to have him compete. So we got in his ear right then and there and made sure that he made it all the way here in July 2023. It was the best. No regrets. I do it all.
I love you both. Yeah.
Cool. Any questions? Terrific. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for your time today. Oh,
Thank you.
oh,
You're the one who's done all the work. Thank you.
pleasure. And I'm going to be placing this recording up on YouTube and making sure that everyone has access to it so that if they want, this information, they can find it easily. The video will also be embedded on our website tomorrow. So it's all going to happen nice and quickly, and we will make sure that the information is readily accessible by all the people who might want to know, and fingers crossed it's everyone, and that we have the biggest competition that goes over 2 days that we've ever had before. So I hope to see you all in Penrith on July 13 and 14.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.